Sure, buddy.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with the Shazam, so you're gonna be the one starting it off, because,
Well, why do I
I'm a
gotta
jerk.
start everything? Man,
Do what?
you're a terrible person.
I know. But here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. Sir, I started it. Go ahead and go.
Oh, snap. Alright, okay. Well, no, man, I didn't know if you were gonna, do anything. Alright, so what you got up first? Sam, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. No, man, I enjoy Shazam. It's an interesting character. You know what I mean? Like, you have this guy this kid who turns into a superhero. So not only does he have his childlike innocence, but he also has vast knowledge. It's like a scholar in the body of a child.
How did he get it, though?
Just look at powers, man, and honestly, I'm for sure. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, he was granted by a person or some shit. Some old man, some creepy, just like, hey, follow me. Nah, man, it's better than candy though. Like, straight up, you get,
It's godlike powers.
I don't want this old man.
Yeah. And now we're up to Mr. Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, my favorite fungo. Just, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, it sounds really bad to say, but before he was Green Lantern, there was a lot that he was doing right. His relationships with Bale and his fighter pilot wasn't exactly terribly good at it, but he wasn't bad either. I mean, and then he never took anything seriously. And then, someone finally gave him a little bit of purpose and becomes one of the most powerful Green Lanterns in the general.
And
human one, that's
how does one get the powers of the Green Lantern exactly?
Well, it depends. For Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner, it was well bestowed on him by a guy named John was handpicked to be a backup after Guy Gardner died.
And what creates the ring's power?
Oh, good.
So you're telling me that...
Which ring you go for, man?
So you're telling me that with the ring, it's based on stubbornness.
I mean, if you want to put it that way, yeah, you would have to go down. If you would have to really stand that way, you have to go down.
But
you have that, then in this power, until it runs out of energy.
But we are now on to Barry / Wally West.
Well, those two, it's hard to choose. Barry being gone for almost 3 decades, coming back was especially for you, just released. Return of Wally to comics was fantastic.
I'm really kind of enjoying the rebirth, actually, with Wally and Barry.
The fun thing about that is Wally West got his powers by either recreating or what they refer to as Barry Call. this comics is that he was actually given powers from Mr. Doom before having his away, and then having to prove that he could be just as helpful and just as useful without his powers before gaining them back.
Well, I hate to ruin your fangirling for the moment, but we're now changing up to Kal-El, or Superman in this case. Well, with Kal-El being Clark Kent as his alter ego, he was obviously a born his background is so famous, it's ridiculous, so I don't need to explain the backstory. But just in case, he's born from the Kryptonian bloodline. His planet got blown up, but as a baby he got down to Earth, and so instead of his body getting adjusted to their planet per se, his got adjusted to Earth's planet. So Kryptonian stuff such as kryptonite is vulnerable to them and whatnot, for them being away for so long. And so plus red sunlight, all kinds of weaknesses. But at the same time, just like with what you said about Billy Batson or Shazam, he has godlike powers himself. He's got the invulnerability pretty much. He's the Man of Steel. He's got heat rays that comes out of his eyes, for crying out loud. I'm not getting into his powers, but needless to say, he's such a huge honor to work with. Even though he has all these powers, he still does good for Earth. He still does righteous for everybody. Not because he wants to, but he feels like that he needs to. There needs to be a protector for Earth. And so with that being said, we are moving on to one of my favorite characters that went from sidekick to hero himself, Mr. Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing. As for Nightwing, obviously, as I said, he started out as a sidekick with Robin. His parents were professional acrobatics, and so he's kind of grown up with the whole natural agility kind of thing. Or can you help me out with what I'm trying to think of?
Oh no, he just had a natural agility that beyond anybody else. Because of the fact that he grew up in the series.
Yeah. And then, wasn't it whenever his parents died, that's about the time whenever Batman found him?
Close to, yeah. There's a couple different stories as to how it goes, but essentially, once, after his parents died, shortly after he, goes to foster home, but he gets into some trouble, occasionally, and ends up running into the Bat.
Yeah, and so, with that being said, the Bat didn't exactly use him for his own purpose, but at the same time he did. He used Dick Grayson's agilities to his full extent, so that way he wouldn't become how Batman is now, you know, the total arsehole, or, you know, just a heartless being. He wanted to see somebody that kind of ended up like him as a child, grow up with without that darkness in him. So that's why he helped him fight off those people that killed off his parents at such an early age. And so that's why I like Dick Grayson so much. Even though he's had that trauma, he still truly does good. He still has all that light in his heart. And now coming up to my all-time favorite, because of the TV show Arrow, as a matter of fact, got me into actually reading his comics. Here comes Mr. Oliver Queen with the Green Arrow. And with his background story, it depends on whether you want to go with the New 52 or want to go with the old comics. With the old comics, I'll admit I'm not too familiar with, because I couldn't find all of the extensive research for his older comics, but New 52, it's a lot like in the TV show, as a matter of fact, except instead of it being in the city, it started out with him being on a cruise ship whenever a bunch of non-pirates went to steal all this oil that he was on, and so he was trying to protect everybody on the ship by taking them down. But he slipped with one of his arrows, causing the whole ship to explode. Surprisingly enough, it didn't kill him because he was at a pretty decent way away from the explosion, but at the same time, it also killed his best friend Tom on the ship. It's killed multiple people, and that's how he actually ended up on Nana Parbat, as a matter of fact, in the New 52 comics. And so, he started out as a very cocky guy. He thought that he was untouchable, that he could do anything that anybody else could do. And so, with that being said, that's whenever he realized, oh no, I made a huge mistake. I really need to change my ways. And that's whenever he started to go about it how you see in the older comics, with the whole trick shots, the trick arrows, punching bag, as you like to keep on bringing up, Mr. Drew, explosions, grappling hooks, etc., etc. And so he uses that so that way he doesn't have to kill anymore. Because he realized after his close friends died from that explosion, that's a terrible thing to feel. And so if he was able to feel that with his close ones, he knew that other people would feel the exact same way with those other people. But unfortunately, I have ran out of time to talk about my favorite character, and so this brings up to the conclusion of the video, which is a pretty short one, only 12 minutes long. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about, Mr. Drew? Maybe go back to your favorite character, explain it in a little bit more detail?
No, man. There's not really much to explain with the fact that most of these are mainstream anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, should everybody that if anybody watches, they should know most of the backstories, most of everything that ever happened to them. A lot of people might not know the whole thing with Hal becoming Parallax, which is insane. But that's something else.
So let's go ahead and go on to that bit then, since we weren't exactly able to come up
Yeah.
with the conclusion of our three favorite villains yet. So, how did Hal
Oh,
exactly become Parallax then?
well, it depends. They explained it into the fact that he was being possessed by the entity, but before then it was just he was becoming mad with power and he was trying to restart the universe because his home of Coast City had been destroyed, killing millions of people, and he started recreating them with his power ring. And then the Guardians stepped in, basically told him he was wrong. So he kills the Guardians, takes all their rings, becomes instantly more powerful. Then the Justice League tries to stop him, and he's taken out by, or Superman even gets taken out by him with one punch.
What punch?
Hal becomes One Punch Man for a short minute, and it's actually there's an extensive battle that ensues, but I'm pretty sure it's actually Kyle Rayner that finally puts it to an end.
So, uh, bringing up to the previous comment before with the whole willpower thing, you're telling me that his willpower is that strong to where he created a whole city,
Yeah,
that he even took
pretty
out
much.
a Kryptonian, one of the most powerful beings to be ever known, godlike powers naturally, with one
Well,
punch?
here's the thing: is we don't know exactly how, or I at least don't know exactly how the rings work. I don't know if they're a little mystical or not, but one of Superman's actual weaknesses is magic. So if there is any possibility that they are using magic, then yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to defend against something like that. Which
Yes.
also is kind of weird though too, because in Injustice, whenever Superman's fighting against Kilowog, he tells him that thought-based weapons are too slow, which is
That brings me
basically
back to Injustice.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, well, I can move faster than thought.
right. And then they kill, the squirrel, and just yeah.
Not the squirrel.
But I mean, Hal is also said to have, told people that he can pick them apart, molecule by molecule, and put them back together, and they'll feel every bit of it, and they'll be conscious for every bit of it. So,
Ow.
he's kind of a dick at times. I like it.
Well, I mean, at the same time, you also gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just rip somebody in half and be done with
Yeah, that is true. That is beyond
it.
torture.
Yeah, but it'd be the best kind, man. Like, it'd be great. That is not what I meant to do at all. Ah, shit.
So yeah, there goes this video. I can't think of anything else that we can talk about. How about
Well, let
you?
me ask you this, a little off your beaten path here, man. Who's your favorite out of Marvel?
My favorite out of Marvel?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not entirely sure. My favorite out
I.
of Marvel, my number one favorite. I would have to go with Spidey.
Why?
Well, I mean, because he grew up, being a really like how we are as you and me individually, being extremely broke all the time, not living the luxury life like how Batman, Iron Man, Green Lantern did. Green Lantern also became broke in New 52, but I'm not going to touch that subject for right now. But Spidey grew up without having any luxury in his life, and he's been bullied his whole life. He was the outcast of everything. Absolutely nobody liked him, and so with him being granted these powers just by chance, it's given him such a huge honor feeling per se, and so he felt like that he could be from a nobody to a somebody that's able to help everybody. Now, granted, he doesn't go around saving the whole world, but he still saves his city on a daily basis. He still does everything that he possibly can to make his hometown a better place of Brooklyn, New York. And so it's such a huge city. He could have easily been granted to be evil. I mean, yeah, he almost did with his symbiote, but he overcame that. He still overcame it with his goodness of his heart. And so that's what I like most about him is no matter what happens to him, he still sees the light of everything.
It's because we talk about these heroes, but some of the best heroes are orphans.
Yes.
Like it sounds it sounds bad to say it like that, but they take tragedy and turn it into something great for themselves. Like Barry watching his mother's death. We have Batman, who obviously everybody knows that, everybody knows Kal-El's. Uh, Spidey, Spider-Man
He sees.
with Uncle Ben, but the one that like really sticks out to me is Gwen Stacy.
Yes.
And like not only did that changed a lot as how comics were. It changed. It was like one of the just unexpected things that
It
happened.
was the change of the era. That's whenever everybody was starting to want to do darker comics just like that.
Well, yeah,
And so, with that being said, I guess you could say darkness has become kind of mainstream since then.
Uh, it depends. Like a lot of people try to focus on the lighter sides of stuff. You know, some of the comic book heroes that we have still don't have the darker, nastier tones to them.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, DC changed after Flashpoint,
Yes.
and then we have,
It changes after Flashpoint, after Flashpoint, after Flashpoint.
right.
It's almost as if they
Well,
use it as a crutch.
you can you can make the joke that Barry going back in time and in the CW, causing a Flashpoint, and then all of a sudden, Captain America's with Hydra, so
Yeah. Even though it doesn't affect that at all. Because,
it's
DC and Marvel
really
are nothing.
coincidental.
Do what?
It's just really coincidental.
It really was.
It's funny, but you gotta keep things interesting, shake it up for the readers.
Oh, yeah. Which is why I'm actually kind of enjoying Rebirth.
Yeah, I mean, we're still going through some of the same storyline, but let's see where it takes us.
Oh, yeah. But with Rebirth coming into play, I'm just really hoping that starting from then on, that we could actually develop better movies for DC instead of constantly telling the backstory over and over again. Maybe they can actually start from present day and work our way to other things. Because everybody knows about Batman's backstory. It's been told on multiple occasions. I mean, that's what I liked about Batman versus Superman. It was just a quick glance and then back to present day. Back to him having that whole uh, wanting to kill Superman because of that threat.
Uh, See, the one thing that really threw me off in that was like we start out with it again as usual, Batman's backstory. Not that big of a deal, quick one and done. But then you see Bruce get lifted out of the well by bats.
Yeah. Like, I never
Like I
did
know it was a
understand
dream,
that.
but still, like, oh, you didn't like that was just a dream, man. That
I know,
was
but I don't get why his dream would consist of that, though.
Batman saved Bruce from doing something that he didn't, want to do. It's also kept his mind in check. Maybe I don't know, man.
He has mommy and daddy issues.
Yeah, I mean, kind of comes with the job, I guess.
Which, I mean, brings out with the whole Nightwing thing again. The whole reason why Batman was helping Grayson out as a kid to find his criminals, per se. So that way, Bruce didn't have to see Grayson go through what he had to go through. Through, really.
Yeah, but Grayson made a better Batman anyway.
He did. He really did. You know who else made a better Batman? The Red Hood.
Slade Wilson.
James Gordon.
Superman.
Yeah, no, like, it's just ridiculous on how movie plots are just retelling the backstories. Like, I'll be completely honest, I want a Nightwing movie.
No.
Why not?
Uh, no. I mean, if I want to see a Nightwing movie, man, I'll just go to a circus where something horrible happens.
Oh, that's messed up.
All right,
Well,
man. Well, I'm out of here, bro. I gotta get going.
see, I was just about to say if there was anything else that you wanted to say, go ahead and say it now because I'm about to end this live stream.
Nope. Bye. That's all I gotta say. Bye.
Bye.